Hi guys, Every Knife Guy here with another SAK video for you. And some time ago I made a video on this knife, which is the Victorinox Climber Swiss Army knife, 91mm model. And yeah, this was a knife I picked up quite a while ago, and it was one of the first kind of Swiss Army knives I collected when I got kind of back into knives and back into Swiss Army knives. And yeah, it's a very cool model, and I made a quick video on it and kind of went over the features. I actually just picked up this red version, which is kind of the obviously standard red Celidor Victorinox scales. So I figured let's revisit and have a little look and go over what makes this a good 3-layer Swiss Army knife to carry. Why would you want to carry this as over like a compact or a Spartan or something like that? The Climber is basically the Spartan with scissors, as far as I'm aware. I think that's right. I don't have a Spartan here to compare with it, but someone can correct me on that if I am wrong. But let's quickly go over what tools it has and see why you might want to carry this. So it's a fairly chunky knife. As I say, it is 3 layers. And this does have the corkscrew wine bottle opener on the back, so that always adds a little bit to the thickness. You can see how if you don't have one of these to hand, you can see there how the corkscrew protrudes above the back scale and makes it a little bit even thicker than normal. So yeah, it's fairly chunky and fairly weighty. I'll weigh this in a little bit. But let's just go over the standard tools. And where's my... yeah, here's my fingerprint remover because, yeah, humidity is crazy here and I'm afraid fingerprints are an issue. So I haven't really even opened this up that much since I got it. I got it as part of kind of bulk trade for Swiss Army knives. And you can see the scales on this are a little bit marked up. It's definitely been carried quite a bit, but then these do mark so easily. This black Celidor model you can see is just the same. I really didn't carry that all that much, and I never carry it with like change in my pocket or anything like that because I am conscious of how they get marked up. And I'm not going to baby them. I mean, they're there to be used, they're a multi-tool, but at the same time I don't want to absolutely trash it, so I tend to try and carry one of these in the base of my pocket with nothing else if possible. Put my car keys and my change in a different pocket and just kind of let this sit there by itself. So this one has obviously had similar or slightly more wear and use. Let's go to this side here and see what tools we have. So we have, of course, the large classic Swiss Army knife Victorinox pen blade, or penknife blade if you will. And at the opposite end, of course, we have the small version. So the large blade, small blade. Here we have the typical small flathead screwdriver and can opener. And over here we have cat lifter, large flathead, and wire crimper bender, whatever you will. And in the middle there, see if we can grab it, we have the scissors, large version of course, and yeah, just the classic scissors, so useful. And just check the spring on these. The spring actually looks like it may have been rebent at some point, but still super nice and springy and useful, and great action on those. So one of the main things that I miss if I carry a Swiss Army knife in my day-to-day EDC that doesn't have scissors, I do miss them. I think it's one of the best features of Swiss Army knives, so I always feel like I'm cheating myself a little bit when I carry one that doesn't have scissors. And obviously, if you're into Alox Swiss Army knives, then that's pretty much everything unless you want to pay big bucks for a custom mod that has scissors added. And yeah, one of these days I will do that, but right now it's a little bit of a shame to carry one that doesn't have scissors. They're just a useful thing for cutting tasks that you might not want to use a knife. Maybe that's just me being a geek, but I do like the scissors. So this also has the hook on it. If I can even get a hold of this, I always find it's pretty brutal to get a hold of that tiny little kind of nail nick on the point there and lever that out. But there is your carrying hook. I know they do have uses, like you could carry a bag on there if you could compress the plastic small enough, or you could lift a rope or a cord or a wire or something with it. It could be useful. I just personally never have used it, so not a big fan of the hook, I gotta admit. I know some people do swear by it, but there you have your awl or stitching needle with eye there. You can see there, pretty sharp. And last of all, we have our corkscrew bottle opener. Quite like that. And if I do have one of these in my pocket that has it on it, I will for sure use it rather than the expensive semi-automatic opening thing that I bought my wife for Christmas a couple of years ago, and it sits in our drawer. If I don't have a Swiss Army knife with a corkscrew on it, I will use that. But there's just something about the satisfying traditional waiter style pull of getting that screwed in and just pulling the cork straight out and hearing that slight dull pop. So I will always use that if I have it on me. And last of all, the in-scale tools are of course Toothpick. This one, as you can see, has been somewhat modified at some point. I'm not sure why that was. Somebody's teeth maybe need a finer point to dig at, and I'll probably replace that obviously. And on this side we have the standard tweezers, which are always pretty useful for scale splinters. I find they're quite useful for taking ticks off my cat, to be honest. So that's not very glamorous use, but they are useful for that. So if you have a pet, bear that in mind. So that's it, guys. That's all the tools on the climber. Why would you want to carry one? Well, it's pretty versatile if you look at it. A couple of knife blades, scissors, can opener, bottle opener, screwdrivers, corkscrew for wine, carrying hook, puncturing needle, awl, plus toothpick and tweezers. I mean, it's a good selection of tools for a 3-layer knife. Plenty of options there. I'm going to cover a lot of stuff in your EDC with that. It is reasonably bulky, it's fairly thick. You're definitely going to feel that's in the bottom of your pocket. Let's just check how heavy it is. Get scales here. Prepared as always. Let's pop it on there. 2.9 ounces, 83.1 grams. So yeah, it's not super heavy, but it just kind of feels weighty, which is quite good because it feels like a quality item, quality product. And depending how much you want to carry in the bottom of your pocket or how much you want to fit into your EDC, definitely a model worth considering. And yeah, there you have it, guys. Not really much else to say. It's just one of these standard Swiss Army knives, classic in itself. If you want a little bit more than Spartan, a little bit less than Swiss Champ, then this might be the one for you. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with more SAK, knife and paracord videos soon. Cheers.